have. I ask that we get all our other very important agencies, not really of the similar status in terms of their function. But I think it would be good if we can have them all together, just because of the pressure that we have on time. So we'll basically run through. We'll run through members, each of them, and then we'll come to questions that if any members have, on a particular agency that is now appearing before us. So this is in relation to heads. This is in relation to heads. Office of the Ombudsman. Ombudsman. Electoral. Yeah. 01. And then we come to the Governor General's office. Head.
08, sir.
08. Thank you, Private Secretary. And then we'll come to the National Parliament in terms of head 12. So put our fingers on those three heads. And I hope that the accounting officers of those agencies, please understand as to why we have decided to have you together in this session. But all of you will be given sufficient space to be able to make your presentation. So let's start off with the Solomon Islands Electoral Commission, simply because you are on the right side of my peak. So that's it. You, the CEO, I'm not stop, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So the, what should I address you?
Legal officer.
The legal officer, okay. So we have the legal officer representing the chief executive or electoral officer. Yeah, it's the accounting officer here with us. Welcome your team to these proceedings, and also the private secretary to the Governor General. Welcome to, and your team, welcome to the proceedings of this hearing by the Public Accounts Committee. And clerk of the National Parliament, please make welcome yourself and your team to the hearing of the Public Accounts Committee. This process is, I'm sure that most of you have been part of the process in the past, the proceedings in the past. You know what are the arrangements and the protocols and the privileges under the standing orders that would apply to witnesses in these proceedings. So feel free and make yourselves, prepared, to be able to interact with the committee. So on that note, let me just go straight first to deal with some introductory remarks and the basic general issues only on the electoral, starting off with the electoral office. In terms of the way that the fiscal strategy document has been put together, we are influenced by, the spirit of the vision, the strategy, and the ideas and the thinking within the strategy. And the first thing is that, you have been given the space to bid. All of you were given the space to bid. Amidst, it's a very tight fiscal situation that we have been through. At least, in 2024 and in the current year as well. I'm sure that all of you would understand that, the rate of execution on the actual delivery of the fiscal year 2025 is somewhat embara osem tap we you on him go but what I am flow bara was some time him don't drop no more some time flow a little bit and then go out satem go more something like that. Yeah, I mean it's a kind of scenario that of the kind of situation that we are faced with, but eventually towards the end of the year we have now been given some kind of a comfort that everybody should apply now, but then the 17th of November he may come too. You apply, then by close to 17th of November or same, yeah. So I don't know which one is the true picture. But anyway, tomorrow, we'll have a chance to speak to the Minister of Finance again and to see how now the space can be further extended, for other government agencies to be able to apply for financial resources on their spending for the current year. But that is the situation that, we are faced with the current year. So next year, we think that it's going to be another tough year. Yeah, but I think in the process of putting up the 2026 budget, you have been able to really put all efforts to bid. So for the electoral office, we've seen some drop around here, yeah, from the current year. So you might want to run through with the committee no more why there is a drop, and possibly next year we will see more resources made available to you. In terms of the mix between recurrent and development, it shows that there's very little on the development, but it could be that you have some resources available elsewhere. Yeah, if it is non-appropriated or that you have donor support, please let us know too. And why is it that you have continued to be having resources available for development budget, yeah, out of the appropriation instead of within the appropriation? So let me put it there, and then when we come to the discussions with you, we can have some explanation. And then we come to the Office of the Governor General, which is a fairly small operation, the upkeep of the Vice Regal's office, the representative of our monarch. He is our representative of our monarch, and I think you have kept your bid have been accepted, yeah, together. And again, I will say that why I put you all together is simply because you don't have that development. It's all on recurrent. That's why I'm putting you all together here. And perhaps the only difference now, possibly, when we come to Parliament. So with your recurrent mix, it's fairly stable, little bit incremental this year, year on year. Description, I think you have a little bit on top normal recurrent spending below you. Why that is happened that way, and possibly other members, they've been talking about it. Why don't you have other development spending? House here, him no more, or no good, or the roof blow house here and fall down, so we need to fix him. Or is it the kind of usual attitude, blame, him or no more leave him or him go now? Time roof him leaking now, then you miss you go back more for the motor roof here, something or something. But we want to hear from you. Also, the kind of capacity that is being placed around the Governor General's precinct, is it sufficient? And if not, why? And that's all. In terms of your current development, I'm not what me say that everyone recurrent no more, nothing on the development. So let's see how we go on that front. So I'm sure that you'll be better prepared for some questions on that. Then we come to the National Parliament. National Parliament, I think, in terms of the quantum, it has continued to go up, yeah. But again, law development is quite insignificant, yeah. Or could be that it is there are other financing resources that comes in that have not been captured in our reporting, yeah. So that is the reason why I told them to put me one together, because when I have a look at it, all of you are recurrent oriented, yeah. Nothing much law development, yeah. Awesome. But that will not be. That's not really the nature of law. You follow? I mean, like for instance, the legislature. We need to continue to invest in other capital development, investment on major infrastructure to be able to, help out with digital technology applications into the Parliament as we move forward to try to come up with a scheme for our parliamentary service, which unfortunately we didn't have it this year, simply because I think Sinta's demand sort of have an overriding effects law every other demand, yeah, for recurrent spending, and in particular scheme of services. This committee last year and this year, we have always emphasized during the supplementary and also in the bill proper last year that the Parliament has to have its own scheme of service, parliamentary scheme of service. That is not to say that it is totally different from our public service, but you've got to have that space so that we are just some 3 years, what you understand me, into our 50th anniversary, yeah. So if the judiciary are focusing on becoming an autonomous body by our 50th years of our anniversary, I think Parliament should also put the same target as well too. Your Parliament should be thinking on the same line too, aggressively, and you need to come up with some kind of a program that we can invest on to be able to work towards that autonomy as we turn 50th as a sovereign nation like that, yeah. So that's a small challenge no more to you, but don't sleep on it, yeah. Come up with some kind of a strategy how we are going to work towards that. We have been told also that possibly next year public service not tell me vala. I hope bawat no cross lo mi vala. When we ask the same question to them, and I'm speaking on behalf of you all, Parliament law here, do you think that you will come up with some kind of especially designed scheme for the parliamentary service? They said, yes, we had it on our plan. And then suddenly, Sintana come. So Sinta's demand, it's kind of a water pouring on top of fire now. So go idea now. No, I'm not saying that it's totally out of the picture, but you might have a chance next year. Yeah. So that's on that. So no nature belong all fiscal resources that have been put together to the 3 agencies here. You're all recurrent oriented. So what do you think about the development part of it? Is there any scope for that law next year? Surely we need to invest into some better arrangements along election. These are development in nature, so that we can reduce him now, our recurrent, and the efficiency in the way that we run elections. Lo Yumilo Gigi to look after this very, very important institution of government, representative below our monarch. Continue to rethink him how now, Baba Yimisabe, doing, something that may more different. Los Angeles country, House Blow Government General, or people say go visit, yeah, pay a little bit fee, go visit, not really into the bedroom, but I was go around and then go something was yeah. It's a very, very important thing, that. I mean, you go over the state law, Australia, for instance, the state house are open for public to go and then, visit and then raise some, fees and all same, yeah. Because institution, we want to cherish the way that, we structure the way our country and me govern our democracy. Also. So let me stop there. So now I'm going to invite, starting to the right-hand side here, yeah, some kind of a reaction number what issues that me raising, and then we'll go on to the secretary, and then the clerk, and then members, we can. So let me time you, say around 10 minutes or so, no more, me give him you will know something too much, because at the end, me will run him, but about me will know give more resources to all of you. Me calls up say CEO, but legal officer to the commission, the floor is yours. Please address him now, the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. The Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, Honorable Gordon Dasililo, and esteemed Honorable members of the Public Accounts Committee. The Solomon Islands Electoral Office is humbled to appear before the Honorable Committee to make its submission in respect of the 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025. As you understand, we are appearing on behalf of the Chief Electoral Officer, who is currently away on a feasibility assessment mission for out-of-country voting in Australia. I understand that the committee has been provided with a letter requesting that he be excused from appearing before the committee. So our team comprises of the following senior officers. We have a finance manager here, Mr. Ruben Longomea. It's on my left. Corporate service manager, Francis Iro, and myself. And also we have Said Razvi, who is our advisor, financial advisor. So according to our budget for 2026, we have a total of $19,934,556. As highlighted in our budget narrative and exclusive of the normal overhead costs, a total of $3,183,646 has been allocated for election and by-elections. This allocation is intended to ensure that Solomon Islands Electoral Office is adequately resourced to conduct any by-elections that may arise in 2026. This may be inadequate if we have to conduct more than one by-elections next year. One of the important activities that the Solomon Island Electoral Office proposes to begin next year and implement in 2027 is the development of a fresh voters list in preparation for the 2028 joint elections. Accordingly, a total of 6,862,500 has been allocated in the budget to support this activity, which also includes the procurement of biometric voter registration kits. The SIEO was allocated $28 million under the 2025 recurrent budget. Of this allocation, 63% was designated for field operations and 37% for administrative activities. As of the reporting date, 17% of the total allocation has been expended, and it is projected that approximately 70% will be utilized by the end of the financial year. The remaining portion of $13 million was earmarked for the procurement of 350 biometric voter registration kits, which were destroyed when the office was banned. The remaining $8 million, which comprises of 30%, considered as savings from the 2025 recurrent budget is primarily due to substantial support received from the UNDP strengthening the electoral cycle in Solomon Islands project. Through the 2025, the project provided significant financial and technical assistance that enabled the electoral office to implement its planned activities without fully drawing on its recurrent allocation. As a result, these savings represent unspent funds arising from external support that covered key operational and logistical costs originally budgeted for under SIEO's recurrent allocation. The policy statement of the Government of National Unity and Transformation recognized the need for electoral reforms and legislative reform to align with systematic national legislative calendar to ensure timely and orderly preparation and submission of bills to Parliament through a more coordinated approach. Document also refers to pursuing progressive implementation of electoral reforms to ensure fair and transparent elections, ensuring measures to increase voter accessibility. It is coincidental and fortunate that government's electoral reform proposals are in line with the Commission's own. Some of the electoral reform activities which the Commission has embarked on are as follows: implementing pending legislative reforms from 2023 which were not enacted due to time constraints. These include the review and amendment of the definition of ordinary resident in Section 4 of the Electoral Act, and enabling provisions for the purposes of out-of-country voting and possible out-of-constituency voting, and to incorporate reforms which arise out of the reports from the Joint Elections Observer Missions and Elections Lesson Learned, and also the High Court judgment on the election petition cases. We hope to obtain the necessary endorsements and approval and have the necessary bills ready for the tabling in Parliament next year. This is consistent with the GNAT's policy on timely and orderly preparation and submission of the bills and the Commission's own strategic plan requirements. Although legislative electoral reforms constitutes a good portion of the work of the Commission, there are other non-legislative activities, namely the review of the finance unit processes to upgrade and enhance the way in which we manage our finances for greater efficiency and increased accountability, an organizational structure and functional review of the electoral office to ensure that it is adequately equipped for future demands. This was a recommendation of this committee in 2024. Work towards establishing a funding model to better support electoral activities in the future. The paper in your bundle of papers entitled Briefing Paper on the Important Issues, 3 Important Issues, set out what this is about. Work towards building a new office complex is also on the cards. The current status of this is also included in the briefing paper amongst documents. Work on developing a new voters list for the 2028 joint elections. This is to ensure that all voters are eligible in terms of the new definition of ordinarily resident, and also the photos of those who had registered several years ago are refreshed. The Commission Strategic Plan 2024 to 2028 set out quite clearly what we hope to achieve between now and the joint elections in 2028. The plan also has an effective built-in monitoring and evaluation mechanism which enables us to track progress at any particular point in time. SIEC wishes to extend its sincere appreciation to its traditional donor partners and SIG, which have continued to support us to ensure voter registration and elections are planned and conducted in a fair and democratic manner. Thank you for your patience. We will do our very best to respond to any questions arising out from our submission.
Thank you. Thank you, Principal Legal Officer. of the Somaliland Electoral Commission. We'll move over to the Government House now, and Private Secretary to the Governor General, please.
Thank you, Chair, and also thank you, members of the Public Accounts Committee. It is with a great pleasure that the Office of the Governor General has been given the opportunity to appear before your esteemed committee to present its 2026 bill, 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025. On behalf of the Office of the Governor General, appearing before your committee, myself, Rockcliffe Ziza, the Private Secretary to the Governor General, and also Maxwell Banyo, the Deputy Private Secretary. I also have Abigail Rongau, Principal Administration Officer, and Samson Connery, the Principal Accountant in our office. With this short introduction, Chair, I wish to present to the committee our budget for next year. Chair, the SIG recurrent estimates for 2026 for the Office of the Governor General is given a total expenditure of 12,288,224, and that includes the payroll charges is 3,824,107, and for other charges is 8,464,117. So this represents about 7.5% increase from the 2025 revised budget. However, in the 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025, the recurrent budget, the recurrent expenditure allocated for us there is only about $11,570,680, which is about 5.8 decrease from the 2025 revised budget. And as you know, Chair, this budget, it was given to us by the Ministry of Finance on a fixed indicative baseline levels, where the Ministry of Finance has set the fixed baseline level, and then we just allocate a certain amounts of figures under each respective accounting codes under our head. We did, however, submit for new funding bid, but it is not fully reflected in the recurrent estimates for 2026. And so we have to live and operate by the budget that was allocated to us by the Ministry of Finance. However, we are quite content with the budget given to us for 2026. And as you note, Chair, we have no development budget. And this is, I think, for more than 10 years. We have been trying for quite so long, applying for a development budget, because we have many things to improve in the Office of the Governor General, but we are handicapped to further develop the place. We are now quite stagnant in our development of the place. So we need to have, especially at Government House, we need a new office complex, and also that the residence of the Governor General is quite old, because it is supposed not to be the Office of the Governor General to be there at the first place. So the setup there is not really something where Gigi Bloemi or Representative Blow, our monarch, should stop him. As you already mentioned, law other jurisdiction, especially law other realm countries where the Governor General is the head of state. That place of tourism,
Yeah.
I would have to come and then pay and then go inside, looking everything inside. I was there at Government House in Canberra, doing some for attachment load there. Imi Barolo way behind now. Even other small Pacific Island countries, I think government house block are much more improved than ours, I see. I mean, Immigrant a big lot of space there. But how for development area now, even though we have applied for so many times for development budget, but they never give us. And they always inform us that everything to do with the improvements are there, but I'm tied to the Ministry of MID, especially look at the buildings and also. So we did really want to have a development budget here, Chair, so that we can improve the place. So in the end, Chair, we will just utilize whatever is available to us for next year, and then we'll just observe the budgetary measures have been imposed by us for the sustainable operation of the Office of the Governor General in 2026. Thank you, Chair, and then we are happy to answer any query that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Private Secretary to the Governor General. We'll move over now to the Clerk of Parliament. Okay.
Thank you, Chair and esteemed members of your committee. Just for record purposes, appearing before your committee is myself, Clerk, and on my left here is none other than the powerful FC himself.
Sure.
And the back is our Deputy Clerk supervising, as well as the Human Resource Manager acting. So I want to go straight into your question about development, and I know you have all the figures there with you. Our development budget this year, it's very small, as you mentioned, compared to the recurrent budget is just 1.8% of the total package. We note that, as you rightly pointed out, the nature of it's more institutional rather than service delivery compared to other ministries like MRD, for example, with the highest development budget, and other ministries, infrastructure and education and so forth. The current situation, Mr. Chairman, because of its nature, the development budget in the past years are really focusing on very small, minor projects on parliamentary precincts. It is common knowledge that there is a lot of potential. We have a lot of space here for infrastructure projects. But the situation, Mr. Chairman, like probably mentioned by other speaker, is first of all, it's a major structural issue we have in the organization. For example, we do not have an internal technical and corporate capacity to monitor and look into big projects. The Ministry of Infrastructure is there, but they themselves too are limited by capacity issue as well. And for the rest of the government ministries, I think it's for the past years, none of us have the technical eyes. So we will see in the development budget allocation for consultancy fees. That is where we capitalize on engaging the technical capacity we need for the preliminary works before engaging or contracting out projects for the infrastructure. So we, this year, part of the organizational restructure, we have an approved by the public service for the technical people, property officers, facilities that will look into our plans in the coming years. And Mr. Chairman, I think the way forward for Parliament as a legislature in its development plans, we have the opportunity for the next strategic period, 2027 to 2031. And I was talking with my team. Development budget baham blue infrastructure no maya. Yeah. How I'm not involved in other programs too. Whereby I'm sorry feed go too lo recurrent as well. So the thinking is next year 2026 it's the time for drawing board now with for this strategic period over the 5-year period to explore other programs under the development budget where the focus will be on autonomy. The focus will be on parliamentary autonomy, administrative and financial autonomy. There's a lot of baseline work which we have already spanning back in the past 10 years. Lately, we have an assessment by the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association benchmarking our institution against the accepted benchmarks across the Commonwealth realm. We also lately have an assessment on functional assessment under the auspices of UNDP, looking at the various departments and the level of support services currently provided to the members of Parliament and institution as a whole. So I think we have sufficient baseline to look into in the next strategic period to see how we can probably extend or explore other programs, and which will also probably also include infrastructure as well. But then the other thinking we have, Mr. Chairman, as you and your committee will appreciate the tremendous work that has been supported by the World Foundation for Democracy and UNDP Floating Budget Office in unpacking all the budget documents and come up with some analysis to assist the members in the deliberation of the budget. So the idea of the issue, the risk here is the sustainability of such exercise. Once UNDP and WFD out of the picture, we are back to square one. So I think there's opportunity to build on that collaboration and to look into the strategic period and perhaps have some one small project in starting for like a mini project to set up a budget office, for example, and looking more on the bigger picture, at the establishment of a Parliamentary Service Commission that will like you mentioned, Chairman, we are not special apart from the other public service ministries and agencies, but the nature, like the other two institutions here, are very different to the service delivery mode of the executive government, and in a way it develops a cadre of its own that it's distinguishable from the general public service. The establishment of the Parliamentary Service Commission will probably provide the framework for the wider scheme of service for parliamentary officials. Ideally, to have the oversight institutions as well under that commission rather than on the executive sphere, as we are all discharging a similar role of providing the oversight to the government. So that's the big thinking at the moment, Mr. Chairman. Just a brief snippet of our budget this year, Mr. Chairman. We've submitted a bid as well to MOFT. For the Durban budget, we bidded for an extra 3 million. To the two things that should cover. One is and we thought that it was the very important thing to have a structural assessment of this building to see whether it's still safe for to use, given that it was built more than 3 decades ago. Sure. And that would inform us whether you may still wait to use him or you may build him another new one more also. That estimated cost of it was around 800,000. Unfortunately, that wasn't captured in this next year's budget. The other 1.2 or 5 million, we were a bit. We wanted to redo the entrance and the road leading down with a written wall at the back and a car park on the eastern side and a parade ground on the eastern side of the precinct. That was in the 3 million that wasn't approved in our bid. In the recurrent budget, Mr. Chairman, we were quite ambitious. We bid for 11 million on top of the baseline that was given. Only 2 portions were given. A 1.6 million for CAPEX, computer software and hardware, as part of our digital transformation exercise, in which we started off in upgrading the existing ICT and media infrastructure. The other one where it was approved is about just under 500,000, 400 something for committees. That slightly increases budget allocation for the committees from 400 to about 900, almost $1 million. There are other details of the bids that we made, but that wasn't approved. Those 2 were the ones that were given to us from the total bid that we were given. I'll stop there for now, Mr. Chairman, and thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Clark. And thank you so much. The 3 very excellent presentation that has been made by our 3 accounting officers of this very unique, state institutions that we have in this country. They all represent very unique functionality within our system, which we can measure the kind of democratic performance of our country from the highest representative of our monarch right down to the selections of our best representative leaders, through our electoral process, and where they will finally exercise that responsibility in Parliament like that. Yeah? So, what a very outstanding, connection of sharing of ideas about, the engagement that they all have. And I think it's just fitting that, we have them all together. Yeah. So I want to thank that excellent presentation that all of you have given. Now I'm going to open up, some 5 to 10 minutes, to questioning to all of you. Yeah. Who want to start off? We'll have the leader of Independent to start off with the question, and then we'll come around this way. Please, leader.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, just for the recurring budget, a bit reduction there, especially on the voters, registration of voters. Just explain how now for reduction. So, current budget like for life.
Officer, please.
Will be no any other,
Voter registration.
voters registration, no. Used to be 15 million, now it's about 6 million.
Leader, what do you, sorry, legal officer? Yes.
Yes, thank you for that question, leader of the independent group, chair. So, yes, so that in our budget for 2025, you can see that it's 15 million, and now only 6 million in our budget for 2026. So part of the 15 million, as stated in my statement, will be used for the procurement of the biometric voter registration kits by the end of this financial year. Yes, so that's on that. Chair, if I may allow our finance manager to elaborate on the question. Thank you.
Please. Move over the mic over to you.
Thank you, Chair. I think there's a huge reduction there. Firstly, when we submit our bid, we have a ceiling there where we can't exceed. So what is given to us, I'm not looking inside lawyer. But because next year the activities will continue next year. So part of the cost here we have reduced lawyer, maybe we will expect in the supplementary, if any supplementary budget next year. Most of the allocation for this year, I'm not if I'll put them in for biometric kits where we destroyed, and that one by utilize him this year. But for next year, we'll expect maybe in the supplementary budget we'll bid for the activities whereby begin next year. Thank you.
So that different. So you mean to say that the
So you mean that that 15 million is still some bit of it still remain, or you have used that 15 million already?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the 15 million so far, we've spent him only in the recurrent budget. We've spent 17%. Now, portion of this 15 million, we will expect for spending by end of this year for the registration kits. Yeah, explanation for this 15 million, because most of it will be for the kids for this year.
Okay. A little bit, yeah? Because you bid it for 15, or by our team. Now you're hopeful that you're going to bid again for low supplementary. Well,
Yeah.
I'm right.
Yeah, because we can't.
Ceiling, yeah.
Because the ceiling was there, so we can go beyond the ceiling. So what them given to us, even our bid for this for 2026, have also reduced by 8%. So what them given to us now, I'm appeal here.
So, with that 6 million, you were saying that I think there is no need no more for doing voter registration next year. Or only certain part of the region of the country will be but under a reduced amount low voter registration. Is that a fair description?
Yes, Chair. I think that would be the plan to do registration, but only on a phase-by-phase basis. So the idea is to develop a new voters list, but firstly on certain provinces, and then we can move on to the other provinces later.
So, for instance, when you were given this figure by the Ministry of Finance, you cannot go beyond 6-something million. Over how many? 6 point what?
6.8.
6.8 million. So, what immediately come to your mind? I mean, if you were the CEO, sorry, now you legal officer, so Torongolo FC at this time now, the question here. So, what number immediately come to your mind? What will you do? Reduce the program on voter registration, so the reduction. Now you come on them phase by phase. What now? Can you describe what are those phases? I think by go no more stand up there, but by not taking photo, yeah, or how? Yeah. When it comes to taking photo, I think by stop. I think. Yeah. Because phase by phase, you mean so. If phase by region, Baba makes sense. But with the activity of the registration, you must take them right to the end. Yeah. Yeah. Fill them up form, go stand up there, you take them photo this time. And then you go, then you'll have your card, something like that. Yeah? So that full process to a particular eligible voter, you must not disturb him. But what we can do would be confine it or divide him region with that amount, or we can only do this particular region. So with these 6 million, I think by mi vallo here no more. You start one time mi vallo honey rapstam no more. Not because I'm in general on yara, but I'm Mosem na ya. Mosem ya. Oh, what neighbor thing?
Yeah.
Even no cross come to them, selling more money, selling you give me a name. Huh?
By last.
All right, yeah. So what neighbor thing? Is central, which you like giving question law. Different agency na lo ya, electoral, governor, general, and parliament.
Yeah.
So you,
I think on voters registration.
voter, electoral.
You have some. You thinking of some way forward for doing registration? Especially we use hospitals, clinics to reduce the cost, or even schools.
Principal legal officer or FC or
Yes, Chair.
you have CTA
Even churches.
churches. Okay.
Yes, Chair. Thank you for the question. Yes, so one of our plans, I think we also working with the Ministry of Home Affairs for the national ID to just to connect those two systems here for voter registration and a national ID. So when someone him 18 years old, him register lo school lo sem, data blem at save solo there, then me va save extract him from that file system no. So him na one file ID me file also lo look inside for also implement him. Yes, thank you.
Okay, well, that's pretty interesting, but please, West Korea.
Thank you, Chairman. How confident are you with the $6 million that are given that you can accomplish or you can achieve what you are planning to do? How confident are you with that reduction?
Yes, I think for 6 million, yeah, finance manager Blomva State in Venice, me no confident them for doing now voter registration nationwide. Maybe as me tell them, man was our doing on a face by face at the regions here, group of mata to the provinces or trivala province first time and then move on more and awesome. So him na.
Well, this one right blue citizen. Talemot money no put him ceiling. Committee, we are going to recommend that to restore him go regular 15. We are going to put a very strong recommendation that you restore him because by next year, if we delay the registration, it's going to be a mess. 2027, like that. Yeah. So when it comes to allowing our own citizens to exercise their democratic rights, those that are eligible, no any ceiling should stop him more because constitution not give him right here over there. So him number by me will recommend him. Are you happy with the recommendation or you not happy with him?
Chairman, me bara happy recommendation. Thank you.
So we will agree. Secretary, Mahare companies lo there that we are going to recommend that. Plus, one follow more. I think you were right when you made a presentation that Electoral Commission him should get him now special fund. Okay, so that nobody interfere with what now resources where him coming chat lo there. So when the mood is right for the donors to throw in money, let me special fund lo there. Throw go inside. It doesn't come through any other route more. Good him come lo window lo some lo window lo down lo there. Then order rat go take him.
Someone got a special one, but I asked him what's that?
Do you have a special fund? But because you stated it here that you don't have a special fund, him not making me. Yeah. And so two things will happen. You need to come up with an amendment quick time now, for the first quarter of next year, that we amend the law, giving you the provision for you me enacting now the special fund, and special fund there must be charged to the consolidated fund. You mean no come budget lawyer, you don't appear lawyer, because we are talking about the rights below citizen. Yeah, there's only one time normal or lifetime belong a citizen. He has more right. Time vote no more. And I think we should declare it a very special public holiday too, where someone should be given the right to go and sa South all but first time then him ting around now then I'm saying who na baba mi go vote him this kind of area have his own barbecue this time or kind something was him yeah a special right that day is yours citizen please police you stop there for controlling more than normal because that time man we him bara look useless and bara even win him everyone no because he's exercising his democratic right for the next 4 years, right there, him give him go someone, 1 month for him exercising for on his behalf. So those two things, you must do him, and I think you may run agree, powerfully agree now. We all agree, and that's our gift to you, Lord Isola PAC. PAC Lord 2025 I'm say give him 15 million or even more in special fund, so that suppose you go stand up one time any donor no more, I'm saying, hey, we are willing to give you this one, I'm saying, special fund, look at Torogo inside. And like leader blow independent, I'm saying, you mean no, you may have to have that so that we don't have to worry about those we Torogo window, yeah? I'm going to window them, go nara window, or some there, or some motion imitoro lo window, yeah, motion. So think about that. That will be our recommendation, and we will feature it in our report. Special fund, yeah. Emotion. Anyone more for Tuvala?
Okay.
Or Tuvala? Yeah. No, me like Putalem Tuvala no more, Wasem no more. I think they should be allowed to come up with some kind of a capital, forward-looking development for Tuvala house everyone, yeah. Blogavana and Blongo house blow Tuvala Manialo here. Emotion. And it should be something that more development, something should be made to it, yeah? Like, for instance, you know, the precinct in other realm, country, tourism-oriented, yeah, emotion, including parliament too, emotion. Parliament, I mean, you may know inviting people for go right in Chelo chamber, but there is a, yeah? But you all the man where what, design what kind of no, by doing, yeah? This can, you know, this can be out go stand up low window, then you look inside or same, you know, at least they're inside, but they paid for their fee for going inside. Yeah? And also, they can be hooked up to library services too, yeah? Both of them, Tuvala Mania. You know, Tuvala, yeah, but I mean, those institutions that are representing. Yeah? Universities and researchers can actually be connected to them, emotion. And in these days, where digital connectivity infrastructure, baraba lo tip lo han noma by calls up or the man bibrit go noma by what something him respond noma FC blow parliament. No, you must think him. Yeah, this time you prepare. Next one by you bubble lo him noma him respond. So get that kind of a development mind and thinking. For him happen, yeah? So both of you can become money earner of your own, yeah? It will be interesting for you to find him out. Government house law Australia is earning law annually. Tell him, I was quite surprised. Even parliament too, emotion. Every week you have tourists going in, emotion. Researchers, they are connected to materials where him come out from there. So you may think into the future and him normal a little bit comment with me like to give him come law. Thank you. But if you feel like him any increase, tell him come this time too.
Chair.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Just
leader is going to come up with that. Yeah. Thank you.
For electoral, just concerning I mean, we just look at the budget and be confused. Is this for office building in Bonnet, the maintain non-residential building? Is that for the office level or is for any other building?
Yes, that is correct. So the 800,000 allocation is purposely for the demolition of the old office which was burned on fire.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
So currently we're relocated to?
So Chairman, just like for where commonly first time is to just look at the institutions need to have their development budgets.
Sure.
Yeah, I think like you work lorry current, no, but like things like infrastructures and things, or SMM should come on the development budgets. So I think it's good to tell them. I think committee will support to recommend that institutions or some electoral and government house and also parliament, they must need DB budget
exactly.
for what a vocabulary like today. Clark mentioned him, but I'm true. From experience, like ministries by say like building a fence. Mm-hmm. When you ask, do you have a budget? They said MID will pay for that budgeted for, but no any budget was MID too. You see, so these are things that I'm through him borrow and work out follow how no imi doing budgeting. So it's good to like what you said today. Me agree with him and good for what I say. Got him own development budgets for whatever developments inside there. Whatsoever I fund him or something. Yeah. MID just come with their technicals for architects or things, you know, what come do him and survey and look him no more or something. But fundings come out from their own budgets.
Sure.
Yeah. So I think me agree with that one for him. Yes. Support him with the institutions. Yeah. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Electro.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Perhaps, you know, in the meantime, Parliament, you should also encourage them, just what we said to them, yeah? Special fund now.
Yeah.
Just like judiciary, yeah? Leading towards autonomy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Autonomy.
So they can have special fund. Powerful FC, no run go down to Maslo there, man.
Yeah.
Because time him go, but then missing.
What's a no more of them come back?
Him come back no more, yeah, him must. Oh. Well, the three esteemed accounting officers, you have done so well. You have had our recommendation, so we will make those recommendations in your favor. And I'm sure that next year, it will be a challenging year, but we believe that, you know, with the best of the team that you have with you, we will go, and continue to do the good work. Passing regard belum valo CEO belum you come back you say Hosem yeah come back now and passing regards to lo friend belum Gawan General
Yes.
Excellency has been inviting me but me no appeal they tell him leg belum itu same everyone no good everyone no.
Thank you.
So for now to the three of you and your team enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.